Hey everybody, welcome back. It's gonna be a different video. I don't know what it's titled. It might be titled some obscene thing, right? I just need to vent though. This isn't gonna be a family-friendly outing. None of my videos are family-friendly. Technically, none of my things are made for the children. But old Uncle Will here might say some things that your virgin ears have never heard me say before. Just a forewarning, I'm stalling for time to make sure we get past the however many second mark YouTube likes to do before I say this video might be titled Fuck Ubisoft or Fuck Yves Guillemot, probably that second one. I've been holding this in for about 3 weeks now, ever since we got the terrible news that Ubisoft is shutting down XDefiant. I got that news, saw that news that day. I wasn't heartbroken. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I'm not a little bit pissed. I'm fucking angry. I feel like I should cut a John Moxley style promo right now. You know, the ones where he's backstage pacing back and forth? You can barely hear him because the mics aren't picking him up correctly, but you can tell from his mannerisms that he's beyond pissed. I feel like that's what I should do right now. That's where I'm at. I feel like I should get up and pace around my room, but this is an audio platform, so I kind of need to be heard. Before I even start ranting and raving, if you're one of the people commenting on my videos or my tweets, there's been a few of you about how I should shut the fuck up about my most played game of the year dying and being taken out back by some delusional fuckheads that only care about the bottom line and are trying to do some borderline illegal stuff. Do me a favor. Close the video, close your browser, turn off your PC, better yet, chuck that motherfucker out the nearest window, go back down into your basement and hop back onto your Bobby Kotick-shaped dildo, ride that shit until you come. Which for you Call of Duty Bukkake enjoyers, it shouldn't take that long. Like a whole half a second is probably your personal best. Seriously though, fuck off. Go back to your AI and EOMM infested shovelware. Nobody likes you. You are the bane of the video game industry. Okay? The Call of Duty cocksuckers are gone now. Thanks, I can rant some more. So let's set the table here, shall we? I recorded that last Road to Gold, I guess last Road to Anything an XDefiant video. And even in that I said I was gonna take a break. I was gonna take, like, I think we were like a full month out from Season 3. We're gonna take a break, detox, because I've been playing a lot of the game non-stop for 6 months. I don't normally do that. Even with games that I'm fully in love with, I take a break for a few weeks here and there. Just like, alright, that's enough. This one I didn't, right, because I love it. And it's my most played game of the year, like I said before. And put that video up, like, alright, detox, restore the feeling. And Season 3 will come around. I'll be excited again. We can start the road to Prisma, and it's gonna be fucking great. And then on a random fucking Monday in the dead of winter at about 5 p.m. Eastern, XDefiant tweets out, hey, Ubisoft has killed us, taken us in the back of the shed and put 2 in our 10 spot. Ripperoni, rest in piss, I guess. Yeah, and then that on top of Call of Duty Bukkake enjoyers, tap dancing on the grave saying, ha 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 ha, oh, Call of Duty killer, what? Meanwhile, they're just, oh, thank you, Actibliz, for your milk facial, all over my face, please, and they're rubbing it in their skin, all over their eyes, little bit gets in the nose, snort, it's all good, little in the mouth, gulp it down, bitch. You're just, things I want to say. Things I want to fucking say, but I will get canceled for. They love Actibliz's milk, though, if you catch my mean. It's jism on their face. Bukkake, you know it, kids. Don't make it weird. But that on top of the shutdown and Call of Duty fanboys, that's where my fucking rage comes from. Because this shouldn't happen. This is a new thing for me. Fun fact, I've been playing video games almost all my life. I've been in the multiplayer scene since about Halo 2. So about 20 years, 2/3 of my fucking life have been dedicated, not dedicated, but involved with multiplayer shooters. First person, third person? Yep, that's how pissed I am. Third person shooters, 20 years, about, right? Halo 3, or Halo 2. Halo 3 was the big one. Halo 3... why do I keep saying Halo 2? Halo 2. Halo 2, 2004. So yeah, 20 fucking years. I have been in the multiplayer genre as a whole. Got big into it in Halo 3. Been here since Halo 2. Okay, original, OG Halo 2. I've never seen something like this happen. I've experienced this before where a game I've loved shuts down, but this is far worse, right? The last one was Battleborn for me. I loved Battleborn. I played it on the channel when it first dropped. I will forever curse Randy Pitchford's name for not making a free-to-play when it was very clear things need to be turned around for this game to survive, and it just never happened. So I was here for that, but I was already long gone from that game, right? I was just like, oh, that sucks. I shed a tear, man. That sucks, but, you know, life goes on. No, this was a game at the height of its lifespan and having its throat slit by a CEO that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and is probably doing some shady shit that some people should be investigating. Bobby Kotick from Wish.com, Yves Guillemot. Yves, we have Bobby Kotick at home, Guillemot. Whatever one you want to choose is funnier, fine. They're both incredibly true. The man wants to be this big CEO that's a billionaire, but doesn't have the fucking intelligence to chew gum and walk and breathe at the same time, right? He'll wind up fucking passing out if he tries to do all three. His brain just does not fucking work. But we also got a deluge of information. When I say a deluge of information, I mean the dam just didn't spring a leak. Like, oh, it's a little water. No, the ramparts fucking exploded and gushed. Like your mom when I walk into a room, just flooded down below. Don't be weird, kids. How do you think you got here? It's nature. But we got a lot of info from anonymous devs, which, yes, you should stay anonymous, because NDAs don't want you to get in legal trouble, or, knowing Yves Guillemot, he'll still think it's like the fucking 17th century and try to draw and quarter you in 2024, 2025. Because he's fucking dumb. I want to say another word, but I don't want to get fucking canceled. Okay? You can kind of guess what word I want to say on live TV, but I will refrain from using that type of language, because it's wrong. Okay? Read between the lines, please. But we got a lot of info, like I said. Number one thing, a lot of number ones here, but this is number one with a bullet. An insider told the truth and said the low player count was a myth. Don't believe it. They're lying about it, saying like, oh man, player count keeps dropping, that's why we're looking at it, right? We had those reports that Ubisoft was like, maybe gonna shut it down because the player count was too low. Oh no, like, they'll get season 4 and like, that's it. Everything about that, a fucking lie, right? The player count was actually on the upswing towards the end of November, early December, when the Thanksgiving weekend hit and they had the double XP week. Player count shot the fuck up. It was huge. But that doesn't matter. That's not what they're looking at, right? If they really cared about player count, they should have done what I've been saying since Season 0, and that it launches on Steam. Season 0, fine. It's a 6-week period where Xbox, PlayStation, and Ubi Connect gets to experience the game first, gets to do a live test run of the servers, stress test live, all that fun stuff, get some exclusive rewards. Season 1 drops, hey, we're on Steam. Guess what? Player count shoots the fuck up. And guess what you could have done now if you made that decision to launch it on Steam in Season 3 like was originally planned, apparently. But no, you don't do that because you're fucking dumb. Call of Duty is dying. It's hitting rock bottom on Steam right now. Guess what? If you're on Steam XDefiant, Yves Guillemot, you probably kill Call of Duty pretty fucking hard. You could have. Their numbers are tanking. Your numbers shoot up because you're on Steam. Hey, the tide turns. Maybe the bukkake enjoyers can shut the fuck up and maybe drown in a little bit of it. Really get some in their lungs. Go, oh, now I've come pneumonia. Something like that. I told you at the beginning of this that, oh, Uncle Will's gonna say some shit that you didn't expect him to say. Welcome to the party here. Get a mop because your mom's leaking. I should probably get off that. I should probably not also laugh at that because it's true. Again, learn where kids come from, kids. But you launch on Steam, and your player numbers are probably within the hundreds of thousands. And Call of Duties are in the tens, right? You probably do good, but player numbers don't fucking matter overall to a game's health. I looked it up just now, before I hit record. One of my personal favorite games of the past decade, past maybe 7 years, because it came out in 2018, whatever, Construct, who cares? Paladins. If you've been a fan of the channel for any amount of time, you'll know that Paladins, not necessarily a backbone of the channel or the soul. The backbone is Miyazaki games and Dark Souls. The soul is Borderlands. One of the maybe a few ribs are Paladins, right? It's like kind of the bread and butter. It's a comfort where I can just go back and be like, oh fuck, this is great again, right? Oh fuck, I should go back there now, right? Just like, oh, like a warm hug, right? You know how many people are playing on Steam at, okay, granted it's midnight when I'm recording this, the December 18th, 2024, granted. There's about, let me just check again to double check on Steam database. 1,500, less than 1,500 people in-game on Steam. That's not a lot. That's only on Steam though, right? I usually say, okay, if it's like 1,500 on Steam, well, times that by 4 because Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation players. So you times that by 3, so you get like, you know, there's about maybe 6,000 people playing. Okay, that's a good chunk, right? Player count does not dictate the game's death. The person holding the keys to the servers do and how drunk they are on fucking fentanyl-infused vodka. That's who dictates the fucking world we fucking enjoy. Those people are to blame. The game should have launched on Steam. If they were so fucking concerned with player count, Steam Season 1 would have been the answer. Steam on Season 2, hell, tell us that you're gonna launch it on Steam in Season 3. A little bit of info. Maybe that's also why, because we're getting some stuff about Yves that points to the reason why I'm calling him Bobby Kotick from Wish.com. Or we have Bobby Kotick at home, right? Because it seems like he might not have been letting Mark Rubin or Aches talk to us. That's only my speculation, just from what I've heard from insiders, right? That's what it feels like. Maybe that's why they weren't allowed to talk to us about changes until they were actually ready. Maybe I'm completely blown out of the water, but hey, this is the time to do it. The game's dying in about 6 months, which, hey, fuck it. Its birthday is its death day as well. It was born June 2024, it's dead June 2025. Fun, Yves, you fuckhead. Again, things I want to call you that I will refrain from. But you don't talk to us, you don't say, hey, Steam is coming. If you don't launch on Steam as well as your own app, you're doomed to die. That's not just hyperbole. That's not like theory. Let's go back to Borderlands 3 from a few years ago. They launched exclusively on the Epic Game Store, a platform everybody fucking hates. I'm pretty sure they still hate it because it's still dog ass. I don't know it. Don't care. But it launched on Epic first and Steam about 6 months later, and its sales did poorly, right? Xbox was fine, PlayStation was fine. PC was not. It was only when it launched on Steam 6 months later that sales finally caught up. It was like, okay, we can breathe a fucking sigh of relief. We weren't in this fucking chokehold from Epic, right? Yeah, Epic's deal at the time, I don't know if they still do it, was, hey, we'll give you money up front to be exclusive to our platform, right? We'll guarantee you money. So if, like, a small indie dev is like, oh, I'll take that, like, you know, a couple mil from you because I don't know if my game's gonna sell a few copies, like, I'll make 10,000 maybe from that, but a few million from Epic guaranteed is a lifesaver, right? You're fucking Borderlands 3, you don't need that money. You knew people were clamoring for it for about fucking 7 years, Randy. I love Gearbox, I love Randy, but I also hate the motherfucker. Don't get me wrong here. But you don't do that, right? If you have a game that's gonna be on everything, launch it on Epic, launch it on Steam. They didn't do that. They launched it on Ubi Connect and nothing else. You're not Fortnite, you're not Epic. You don't get to do that and go, hey, we're winning as well. No, you're Ubisoft. You don't do that. Enough about player count, right? We beat that dead horse worse than Yves beats his meat. We can guarantee that, lonely boy. Let's go to the second piece of info from the insider, and that is Ubisoft are poor. Or are they? Because we kept seeing reports that, oh man, nobody's buying anything from Ubisoft, our sales are down, this, that, and the other stuff. That might be by Yves' design, right? Because he kept saying, oh man, the Star Wars game was a failure. It wasn't. Spoilers. It was actually really great to play. It's just that Yves, Mr. CEO man, was placating to the worst of the fucking worst. And we'll get to that a little bit later. About some other certain game that should have released in November that would have made them billions, but hey, who am I? Just a fan. They kept saying, you know, we're not making money off this, it's this, that, and the other stuff. Well, you're currently liquidating assets. That's what everybody's saying. You're currently looking to sell, right? It's the same shit that Capcom was doing way back in the day, like years ago. When it was like, oh man, Capcom's about to sell to Sony, oh man, that's gonna suck, but you know, it was fun while it lasted, and then they whipped out their giant ding-dong. I was like, hey, here's new Monster Hunter, here's new DMC5, and here's new Resident Evil 7 to reinvigorate, not one, not two, but 3 fucking killer franchises, and they took over the world again, and they said, we're fucking back, and here's Street Fighter 6, or 5, whatever it was, and just like, they took over the world again. Okay. That's kind of the same stuff that Ubisoft are doing. They're kind of selling off things and liquidating stock and all this financial mumbo-jumbo that I really don't understand from a, like, logistical standpoint. I know what it means in terms of selling a company. Same shit that ActiBliz did before they sold to Microsoft, right? Guess what? Ubisoft aren't those things. Hey, Ubisoft shareholders, I'll give you a hot dog and a handshake for your entire stock. Just saying. I think that's the best offer you're gonna get. You're not gonna be fucked over by me. Just chuck Yves off the highest point of your building, and, yeah. I'll make the best decisions for you. Don't worry about it. But they keep shouting about, hey, we're not making enough money, when in reality, they're probably gonna be sold by 2026. This time next year, I would not be shocked to hear news of, like, Ubisoft is being bought out by Microsoft. Or being bought out by 2K, or THQ Nordic, or something like that, right? Because they're currently looking to sell. The thing is, I would have bought stuff in your shop, and a lot of people would have also done it, because I'm not the only one who has this opinion. But you stole the incredibly overpriced monetary system from Apex Legends. A completely dog shit excuse for a shop. Right, $50 for a bundle that includes like 4 things that you don't really see? outside of like a few frames at the beginning of a match, that's not value, that's harpooning. You're hunting for whales and that's it. That's the same thing about Ubisoft and XDefiant. I said it before, shop prices are not worth it because you're getting, what, 30 bucks for a bundle that includes 2 skins that you barely see ever because it's a first-person shooter. You get an emote and a player card that you don't get to see outside of getting the MVP of the game. And that's like, what, 0.001% of the time that you're playing in the game, so you're not seeing it at all. And the weapon skins, you don't see that much. Oh, until now with Season 3's drop where they added a weapon inspect. So you're not getting value out of that $30 that you're spending, right? It's just a waste of money. But they thought, maybe not them as in Mark Rubin, but maybe them as Yves Guillemot thought they can get away with it. You can't. You can't get away with that. You're not Apex, you're not EA, you're Ubisoft. You don't have that clout, you don't have that pull, right? You didn't market the game at all. There were no adverts on any website that I've seen, any channel that I've scrolled through on Hulu, nothing on like streaming platforms, nothing on YouTube. There's nothing promoting XDefiant. There hasn't been for the past 6 months. Flip side of that, Marvel Rivals just came out. I'm seeing ads for that everywhere. Because NetEase are paying for ad space to promote the fucking game. Ubisoft are intentionally sabotaging things. And again, that makes me fucking angry. To know that they have this, what could potentially be another honeypot for them. Because that's their whole thing, right? They're liquidating things and canceling studios and shutting things down. Because they want to, one, sell more than likely. And that'll be hinged on something that we'll talk about in a minute. But they want to sell, so they want to keep, like, their big, a couple big IPs that could keep them gaining money. Guess what? You killed the wrong fucking game. Did you know, fun fact for the video, that The Division, the OG Division 1 that came out almost a decade ago now, still has people playing it? Source, me. I picked it up when it was on sale when XDefiant came out to see what the lore of the cleaners was. Spoilers! They burned things, and their little buddy that talks to him, his name is Isaac. That's cute, I guess. I started playing after I finished the Road to Gold about, like I said, a month ago. And there were actual real people running around and doing stuff. That's an always online game, for those who do not know, means the only way you can play the game you paid real world money for, get this, is if the fent-flopping owner of the servers keeps them online and maintained and keeps their fentanyl-infused vodka away from it. That takes a lot of money and manpower to do, because you have to pay said people to maintain the servers and keep them up and running. Basically, I'm saying, why are those servers still online? Which, as of this recording, BT Dubs has a whopping 260 people playing. Yeah. The Division 2 is the wildly popular sequel that came out a few years ago. Why are both servers still up? Why are D1's servers still active? I'm sure you could cut costs by killing games that deserve to be killed, right? I know you're in a weird spot, like, we want people to play The Division and pay us money still. Well, that's your massive fuck up for making an always online game. You need the servers to be online for people to join the game. That's most modern games now for some reason, right? It's not just like, oh, I want to play Fortnite, or I want to play Marvel Rivals. Oh, damn, I can't log in because the servers are down for maintenance. A game like Division and Division 2 shouldn't be like that. That just doesn't make sense. Like, if it wasn't like that, and you're just like, oh, you have a multiplayer aspect to it, well, you could shut down the servers and people still play the single player. No, that doesn't work because they're fucking dumb at Ubisoft, as we've covered so many times in this video already. Bad decisions, man. You could have cut and killed other games that weren't XDefiant. You could have had R6 Siege, which we could get into the whole Operation Health thing, and how, like, it was on its deathbed in 2017. Fuck it. Let's go back to the player numbers, right? 2017, R6 Siege was on its deathbed. They did what was called Operation Health, which basically they didn't release new cosmetics or content pretty much at all, I believe, for about 6 months, I think. All they did was fix the servers, make the game better, make sure it didn't crash, lag, all this other stuff, made it so people could actually play and enjoy the game. That's all they did. They were at about like 4,000 to 6,000 players at most. Way, way, way less than XDefiant had, allegedly, because again, Steam is the only thing you can actually see real-world player numbers with. You kind of got to take it with a grain of salt, whatever Ubisoft numbers we're putting out, because that's hidden stuff that they don't reveal as far as I'm concerned. Same thing with Sony, same thing with Xbox, right? They don't want to tell you how many people are playing. Games like Fortnite, like I said, they have player counts right there showing you how many people are in a set game mode. Because their ding-dong is huge and it's out, right? They can do that sort of stuff. They're confident in their abilities. But basically, that saved R6 Siege. People came back, they released new content. Holy crap, it's a better game. I think Final Fantasy 14, 13, 14, whatever the Memorpaga is, the massively multiplayer online role-playing game, whatever one that is, like the WoW style game, they did something similar and they rebuilt the game from the ground up. Right? People were talking about, like, saying behavior should do that with Dead by Daylight, just like build a new system, a new engine over here, and then port everything over. It's like, that takes a lot of time, and if you're not like a AAA studio that has a big backing from a big name publisher, you're probably not going to get away with that. Ubisoft was allowed to get away with that once. I think For Honor did that too, maybe? Don't quote me on that one, I'm not too entirely sure. But you could have killed other games, is what I'm saying, right? You could have killed For Honor, right? As of this recording right now, there's about 1,200 people playing. Okay, that's a lot of people, right? That's not 260 people, that's way more. Boo fucking who, right? I'm gonna think selfishly here. I'm gonna look at the bottom line and go, okay, what would be more profitable? The thing that we could put on a fucking billboard in fucking space the size of the solar system that says, we killed Call of Duty, or For Honor? Which would I rather have? It's the game that kicks Treyarch and Infinity Ward in the ass and says, bitch, get on our level now, than fucking rock, paper, scissors sim. I played For Honor for like a couple matches, same thing with Siege. Siege wasn't my thing, but I can admit that, okay, if it was like a normal shooter, I'd be fucking in there all the time. So I can see the thing there. I don't get For Honor. It's a rock, paper, scissors sim with extra controls and, like, historical things. I don't understand it, but that's just me. You could cut that, right? You could keep Brawlhalla, right? They got, like, almost 10K people playing currently at, like, midnight, so you got the big crossovers, people are spending money on that, fine. You have R6 Siege as your tactical shooter, you have XDefiant as your arcade shooter, and then you have Brawlhalla as your casual Smash Bros type game. There's your trifecta to keep your company afloat in these dark and trying times where you are, what people are theorizing, and I can say, like, I see it too, are theorizing you're waiting for the shoe to drop on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Right? I believe I said before, if I didn't, I'll say it again. That game would have made you billions of dollars if it were released in November 2024 when it was supposed to be, and it could have been a contender for Game of the Year. There was a lot of hype around it. There was a lot of excitement. People were like, oh, fuck, feudal Japan. Oh, Yasuke. Oh, shit. It's going back to the old style of Assassin's Creed. Fuck yeah. I was super excited about it. There's going to be a Let's Play on the channel. And then they caved to white supremacist assholes that were like, black people in feudal Japan? Not doing the fucking 5-second Google search on who Yasuke is. I can literally do it, like, right now, and oh, fuck. There's an entire fucking book about it, and the first thing goes to a wiki saying, Yasuke was a man of African origin who served as a samurai to Oda Nobunaga between 1581 and 1582, during the Sengoku period, until Nobunaga's death. Holy fuck, that took me a whole 30 seconds to read and understand and go, oh fuck, he was real! But no, Yves Guillemot saw controversy A. Let's push it to March 2025, about a week before Monster Hunter's well-anticipated sequel. And also, a game that will overshadow this because Ghost of Tsushima was widely loved, including myself loved it. Now it's getting a sequel that's releasing also the same month and is almost the exact same game as Assassin's Creed Shadows, but not really. And also, you run the fucking risk of Rockstar going, here's our cock, it's in your mouth now, GTA 6 releases in fucking March, April, and nobody gives a fuck about any of the games that comes out next year. It's all about GTA 6. Everybody's fucked, right? I'm waiting for the shoe to drop to see when that release date is for other certain reasons. Borderlands 4. But that's neither here nor there right now because Ubisoft is waiting to see what happens with Shadows. Is a popular opinion that I also share, right? I think Nightfall said he could see that if Assassin's Creed Shadows does well, maybe Ubisoft looks to sell the IP of XDefiant and, you know, Mark Rubin and team reunite and get sold off to, you know, 2K or THQ Nordic. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to be sold to, like, Sony or Microsoft, right? It's one game, it's one IP, it can be sold to a different... It can be sold to Gearbox, right? That's the light at the end of the tunnel that I'll talk about in a minute. But it could be sold off and the IP's rented for a price, and they could recoup some of that money that they lost, air quotes on that one. That could be a way to go. If Assassin's Creed Shadows fails, like I think it will, because there's a lot of people like myself that are going, we're probably gonna boycott it, right? Like, I still have interest, I still have intrigue, but I'm hoping it fucking dies hard, no matter what, and I have a theory of what could happen, but like, I think they're waiting for that shoe to drop, and if it fails, well, we liquidate some more assets, we go, Microsoft, Sony, Uppies, we want to be bought out, right? They're gonna do the same shit that ActiBliz did a few years ago, same thing that Capcom was doing a few years ago. That's what's gonna happen. I think I said before, like, this time next year, we could be looking at, oh shit, Microsoft just acquired Ubisoft. They now add Assassin's Creed to their list of Game Pass games. Oh fuck, another Monopoly trial is gonna happen, where Sony goes, oh, pish posh pish, we're upset. Remember Tiny Dick Jim Ryan? Yeah, he was a fucking laughingstock for a full fucking 2 years. Good, glad, thank God he's gone. It's sink or swim right now for Ubisoft, and they're really hoping Shadows does one or the other, and I think Yves is probably hoping it fails, because it looks like that's what he's trying to do, right? My theory is he is going to sabotage Shadows all the way he can, just so he can turn around and go, look, our company is failing! We need to sell to Microsoft, ooh-woo. He's purposely doing some shady shit, right? I think somebody said he's devaluing the stocks to trick the shareholders. He's liquidating assets. He's making... He might be making numbers up, right? The whole player count thing where he was saying, like, oh man, player count's down. Nobody bought the Star Wars Outlaws game. It failed. When that's not the case. Any of that's the case. Like, he's deceiving people. Isn't that, like, illegal? Like, I'm not a legal expert. I don't know any of the stock trader shit, but, like, isn't that illegal? Didn't Vince McMahon get in a deep legal trouble for doing the same thing? Among other stuff that we won't talk about here? That's some shady shit, right? That's Bobby Kotick light behavior. That's watered down Bobby Kotick, Yves Guillemot. I don't know. There might be a, like I said, a glimmer of hope that XDefiant does survive. Aches did tweet out, responding to somebody that, like, somebody said, like, oh man, it's the last content drop we're getting. This is the last stuff XDefiant will ever put out. And he posted a Batman gif of, like, not really, or not for sure, or whatever it was. So, like, there's some hope. There's some more stuff coming for XDefiant. There is hope that, again, if Assassin's Creed Shadows does good, I don't know what his metric of good is. Are we talking about, like, Warner Brothers being like, yo, if Batman vs. Superman's Justice League movie doesn't hit $1 billion at the box office, it's a failure. And then it only did $950 million at the box office, and they went, it didn't hit $1 billion, so it's a fucking flop. Are we going by that metric? Is he going like, if it doesn't sell 5 million units in a week, and it sells like 4.9 million, does he go, oh fuck, it failed, guys. Ooh, ooh, woo, Microsoft. Again, hot dog and a handshake. Final offer. We can haggle, Ubisoft. We can haggle, right? I'll take the Assassin's Creed franchise, I'll take XDefiant, and then go, Microsoft, ooh, woo. I'll do it, but I'll do it more convincingly, right? I know what's better for you than you do, Yves. Trust me on that one. But there is light, right? They could rent or sell the rights to XDefiant, the IP, to someone, and then rent out the IPs that are associated with it, send Mark Rubin and the team, regather them from the other projects that they're on currently. They were moved to forcefully. Of course, Yves and CEOs of gaming doing things forcefully that nobody wants. Shocker. How's that beer run going over there at ActiBliz? Is that still going on, or somebody stealing breast milk still? That's wild shit that happened 3 years ago. Fuck CEOs. The only reason I know CEO names and, like, heads of companies is because they're failures. That's why I know Bobby Kotick's name so well. That's why I know Yves Guillemot's name so well. That's why I know Todd Howard's name. That's why I know Roger Goodell's name, right? They all have something in common and they fuck up. Maybe not Todd. Todd's a good boy. He's a sweet boy. He's a short king, apparently. It's what we learned from the Game Awards. But those other three, they're colossal fuck-ups. So I have to know their name so I can curse their name and put a pox on their house or some shit. But they could just sell the rights to XDefiant, or if Ubisoft does go under, the game Gigantic. Do y'all remember that game? That game came out like a few years, like pre-pandemic, which is a very long time ago now. Came out like, I want to say 2017, 2018, and it died pretty fast. It was a good game. I had a couple of videos up on this channel if you're interested. But it died pretty hard, right? It was like Battleborn, where I was like, oh man, that sucks that it shut down. But I already had my fun with it, I'm done. But then earlier this year, Gearbox Software, mentioned them a few times, Randall Pitchford, magician connoisseur that he is, made magic and revived the dead game. Just one day, woke up to some news like, oh hey, Gigantic? Yeah, that's alive again. Gearbox bought it and bought the developer. And now they're publishing the game, and now it's available now. It's no longer free to play, but at least it still exists. People can go back, or people can discover it now and play it, right? That could happen to XDefiant, right? There is maybe some rays of hope in the apocalypse here, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I wanted to come on here and vent and curse the name of Yves Guillemot and Ubisoft for fucking over a lot of people that loved XDefiant. Not just because, oh, we could flip off the Call of Duty Bukkake enjoyers, because I promise to never say that phrase ever again outside of any video, unless it's in a fucking wild video. Like, if I play, Viva Pinata again, I just go fucking Call of Duty Bukkake enjoyers. Like, people go, what the fuck? It's this video. But I'm still legit angry at Ubisoft for making this fucking terrible decision, blindsiding everybody, including the devs, right? Mark Rubin only knew a week before that announcement was going to be made, and most of the devs learned when we did. That's fucking bullshit. That is bullshit behavior from fucking cowards. People that don't deserve to be in this business, that are only in it to make a fucking quick dollar, and guess what? They didn't, so that's why the game is shutting down. That's why they're canceling so many games. They're touting single-player games as a failure because, oh man, nobody gives a fuck about a Star Wars game that isn't Cal Kestis. Sorry, not sorry. I played Outlaws. It was a great game. I enjoyed that game a lot. It's missing a character that I'm familiar with, that I've played 2 games before, right? That's not the solo Star Wars experience that we want. That game from the guy, that other, like, Star Wars game that's supposed to be coming about, like, about the Senate and shit like that, and politics. Nobody's gonna give a fuck about that either, because Cal Kestis is not in it. That man's not in it. Nobody cares. So, you're gonna tout the wrong numbers, you're gonna say some fucking wrong shit, blame one thing when you're the person to blame, and you're wondering why people are fucking angry. I'm done though. Ranting for now. Regular XDefiant videos will return. I don't know how or in what case. I don't even know maybe if they will return, just because I have a hard time playing that game and not being like, wow, nothing is here for me in a few months. Right? I had all these plans like, oh, Road to Prisma, and like, oh my god, all this other cool shit, and then, well, again, one random fucking Monday in the middle of December, or at the start of December, I guess, in the middle of fucking winter, snowy day, they just like, oh, we're killing the game because Yves Guillemot survived his fentanyl overdose. Right? Don't sue me for slander, you fuckhead. I'm done. I would say if you enjoyed any of this, do the YouTube stuff, but I just needed to vent. I just needed to vent. They killed something I loved. That's it. See ya.